Okay, hello gamers and welcome back to another video. I've basically become Watch Mojo at this point. But anyways, today we're doing a top 5 carbine video, or carbine. They're both a correct, pronunciation, who cares? And as always on these kinds of videos, it's all my opinion and statistics of the weapon. But yeah, let's get into the video. I'm also gonna introduce a kind of rating systems in this list from 0 to 10, but since it's a top 5 weapon video, I expect them all to be at least a 7, lol. But anyways, at the number 5 spot we have the AKU-12. The AKU-12 in my opinion is just a better M4A1. It has higher fire rate and better damage. But basically, this gun has 800 RPM, while the M4A1 has 780. 35 to 19 damage, while the M4A1 has 34 to 19 damage, which means both of them can 3-hit kill in CQC and 6-hit kill at LRC. The CQC damage is insane on the AKU, and the LRC damage is quite trash, but still, it has a pretty fast reload and it has really fast handling in general. Like, it can aim fast, it can reload fast, it can walk fast, I don't know, bro. And it has 30 bullets in a magazine, like an AK should have. But is this gun actually better than its counterpart, the M4A1? Like, the M4A1 has faster reload and slightly further damage range, while the AKU-12 has faster fire rate and higher damage. And this pretty much makes them equal, if I'm gonna be honest, but I still use the AKU-12 over the M4A1 because of the damage and fire rate. Like, it's not much more fire rate, but it's something, like it could be life or death sometimes. I'm giving this gun a solid 7.3 out of 10. And the setup that I usually use for this gun is reflex sight, muzzle brake, folding grip, and green laser. I use the muzzle brake because of the fact that it has basically no horizontal recoil and only vertical. So it's only positive to roll with the muzzle since it reduces the vertical recoil. But yeah, the AKU-12 is a quite quirky carbine, but it's not as quirky as the next carbine in this list. So at the 4th spot we got the L22. Now a lot of you are just sitting there like, Oscar, why would you pick the L22? It's just a bad L85. I really hate you more now, because I already hated you since the last top 5 video because of the M3A1, but now I will murder your family. But the reason why I put the L22 on the list is pretty simple. It has low recoil, high minimum damage, that's basically it. The L22 has 21 minimum damage, which means it's effective with AP. What I mean with effective is that it can 4-hit kill to the torso with AP instead of doing literally nothing. So remember kids, only put AP on guns with 21 to 24 minimum damage. It's also useful on guns with 25 minimum damage, but not as useful. Like, the reason why AP is useful on guns with 21 to 24 is because of the fact that it has AP makes the gun have a 1.2 times torso multi, and 21 times 1.2 equals 25, and so on. But yeah, the L22 has a quite high fire rate at 775 RPM. It has 30 to 21 damage, which means it's not very effective in CQC, but very effective at long range engagements. The damage range really doesn't matter for this gun since you will be using AP anyways, and the reload for it is actually really fast at 2.3 seconds. And it's also a bullpup, like bullpup guns usually have really garbungus reloads for some reason. Like, have you seen the AUGs? God damn, they're they're not garbage, but the reload is garbage. But yeah, the L22 is basically a baby L85, baby gun. The rating that I give this gun is a very rock solid 7.7 out of 10. And the setup I use for this gun is the setup that I basically use on every gun. Reflex sight, compensator, folding grip, and armor piercing. As I said before, AP only helps the gun, and the reason why I use compensator is because it has quite cancer horizontal recoil if you use muzzle brake instead, so just use compensator. But enough about the L22, let's get on to the next gun, which is basically just an upgraded L22. So at the 3rd spot we got the Groza 1. As I just said, the 𝙬𝙧𝙘 one is just basically an upgraded version of the L22. It has basically the same fire rate, better damage, better recoil, the exact same reload time, and stuff like that. The 𝙬𝙧𝙘 one is also extremely useful with AP, since it has 22 minimum damage instead of 21, which makes it even better than the L22 at long range. And the 𝙬𝙧𝙘 basically has the same handling as the L22, and with handling I mean stuff like ADS time, walk speed, etc. But why should I use the 𝙬𝙧𝙘 one to its counterpart, the 𝙬𝙧 4? Well, the simple answer is basically it all really depends on the scenario. Since the 𝙬𝙧 one is pretty much a CQC only gun, it should be treated as that. It has high CQC damage and very low recoil, and is integrally suppressed. The 𝙬𝙧 one has high minimum damage, very low recoil, isn't integrally suppressed, but it has pretty bad CQC damage compared to the 𝙬𝙧 4. So it all just depends on the scenario you're in or what map you're playing. Like for example, you should use the 𝙬𝙧 1 on Desert Storm and 𝙬𝙧 4 on Warehouse. It's pretty simple. And the rating that I give for this gun is a solid 8.3 out of 10. And the setup that I always use for this gun is reflex sight, muzzle brake, green laser as the underbarrel since you can't use a grip, and armor piercing. The lack of being able to use a grip doesn't really affect the gun that much, since it already has no recoil. It shouldn't really be a problem. But who cares? Let's get on to the next gun in this list. That might not be better in LRC, but it's absolutely a beast in CQC. As a second spot on this list, we have the SR3M. So have you guys ever thought about what will happen if you start off an ASVAL? Well, you would get an SR3M. The SR3M is basically the exact same thing as an ASVAL, but it has no integral suppressor. It does the exact same thing as the ASVAL. It has 900 RPM as the ASVAL, 34-20 damage as the ASVAL. It has the ability to use an extended mag, so you don't have to have 20 bullets as the ASVAL, and it has almost identical damage range. The only difference is 5 studs, like at the lower part, but the SR3M reloads a little bit faster. But yeah, this gun has very low recoil, high fire rate, and insane damage. It can free hit kill up to like 70 studs, and it can fire hit kill all ranges. It has 20 minimum damage. It's also very small, like it's a baby gun. But does it have a counterpart in the carbine category? I mean, it kinda does, since people compare the ASVAL to the Honey Badger a lot. We're gonna compare the SR3M to the Honey Badger, since the SR3M is basically the ASVAL. So the SR3M is basically better in every way except minimum damage. The SR3M has better CQC damage, better recoil, higher fire rate, and stuff like that. But it doesn't have the same minimum damage punch as the Honey Badger, which basically does nothing to make the Honey Badger better than the SR3M, but yeah, it's there. I give this gun a 9 out of 10 because it's a beast and it's just amazing in general. But enough about the SR3M, it does nothing on the best carbine in the game. Can you guess what it is? Probably. But that's the number 1 spot on this list. We have the M4. This probably wasn't a big surprise for you guys, but the best carbine in the game is the M4. It has 950 RPM, literally no recoil, insane damage. It can 2-hit kill head in CQC up to like 60 studs, which is literally broken. It has the fastest reload in the game, tied with the Honey Badger, and it has a broken handling, like broken in the way that it's incredibly good. This gun is basically the definition of overpowered. It even has a 1.5 times headshot multiplier, compared to the standard 1.4 times multiplier on all the other guns, except like snipers, TMRs and stuff like that. It is the multiplier that makes it able to 2-hit kill in CQC, because if it was 1.4 times, it wouldn't be able to do that. But it has one drawback. It's a burst weapon, but it's arguably the easiest burst weapon of them all, for me at least, because it's just super easy to burst in. Oh god, to burst in general, compared to like the M6 and A4, which is easy to burst but not as easy. You can hit like 100% efficiency burst with the M4 with ease. Bruh. I see people comparing this gun to the M4A1 a lot, so like, is the M4A1 even close to being as good as the M4? No wait, yeah, the M4. No, it's not close at all. The M4 has higher fire rate, way better damage, lower recoil, better headshot multiplier, faster reload, and better damage range. So M4A1 has basically nothing on the M4. But yeah, I'm giving this gun a rating of 10 out of 10, because it's literally a god gun and it's overpowered. The loadout I usually use for this gun is just muzzle brake, folding grip, reflex sight, green laser. It's an incredibly good setup and you should use it yourself because, you know, good setups are good, why not? But yeah, that concludes the list. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, I hope it gave a good insight on what the good carbines are. And if you noticed, I didn't put any like a carbine. I count them as good CQC guns and good LRC guns, like not the revolver carbines. I don't know, I just didn't want them because most of the carbines are just 30 bullet small variants of the assault rifle. But yeah, if you like this video, press the like button. If you really like this video, press the subscribe button and like button. If you hated the video, press the like button. Buy my merch even if I don't have any. Comment down below what you thought about the video. Share this video with your friends on Discord and stuff like that. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.